In today's video, I'll show you how I made this Christmas tree sugar cookie felt ornament. This sparkling festive decoration is a lovely addition to any Christmas tree and also makes a beautiful handmade gift for the holiday season.
Welcome, my pretties, to the Awfully Sweet channel.
I begin by cutting out each piece of the template, which I printed on cardstock paper. This template is available as a PDF in my Awfully Sweet Etsy shop. You'll find the link in the description box if you're interested. It includes one piece for the cookie, one piece for the cardboard insert, 2 pieces for the tree frosting, and 2 pieces for the star frosting. I place the cookie template on ginger colored felt and trace it twice using a fine black marker, then cut out the cookie shapes with small scissors. Next, I trace the larger tree frosting piece onto dark green felt and cut it out. I chose a light green felt for the second frosting piece to add contrast and dimension. I traced the larger star onto vibrant yellow felt and the smaller star onto a lighter shade of yellow. To assemble the ornament, I arrange all the pieces on one of the ginger felt cookies. I start by placing the vibrant yellow star at the top and securing it with a small dot of hot glue in the center. I then glue the smaller star centered directly on top. Next, I position the dark green frosting piece just below the star so the shapes fit together like a puzzle, keeping everything centered on the felt cookie and secure it with tiny dots of glue. I place the light green frosting piece on top of the dark green one, making sure it also touches the yellow star at the top. All of the pieces fit snugly together with no gaps between the stars and the frosting. I used DMC 699 green embroidery floss to match the dark green frosting and whip stitch the frosting to the felt cookie starting at the top left. When I reach the top right, I secure the stitching with a knot at the back. For the light green frosting, I use DMC 703 green embroidery floss and whip stitch all around the shape, starting at the top. I use DMC 973 yellow embroidery floss for the larger star. I whip stitch each corner and in between so each side of the star has 3 stitches. For the smaller star, I use DMC 726 yellow embroidery floss and whip stitch only the corners, giving each side of the star 2 stitches. Next, I create the inner filler using a recycled piece of cardboard. I place the cardboard on a cutting mat, trace the shape with a fine black marker, and carefully cut it out with a craft knife, going over the lines a few times for a clean edge. For the hanging loop, I use DMC 3801 red, 699 green, and 435 ginger embroidery floss. I cut a 7.5-inch piece of each color, tied them together, and tape the knotted end to my work surface. I place a heavy object on top to keep everything steady and braid the floss. When I reach the end, I tie another knot. I then fold the braid in half, align the knots so they sit at the same level, and hot glue the hanging loop to the second ginger felt cookie piece, which will be the back of the ornament. I then glue the cardboard insert on top, making sure it is centered on the felt. To decorate the tree and mimic cookie sprinkles, I use a variety of beads, mixing different colors, sizes, and shapes. I use a matching green sewing thread to attach the beads, starting at the bottom right side of the tree. After placing my first bead, I pass the thread through the bead a second time to secure it in place. I continue alternating between beads and gradually fill the light green frosting, always passing the thread twice through each bead. Once the tree is completely filled, I make a knot at the back. To decorate the tiny star at the top, I use a light yellow sewing thread and only clear and yellow tiny round beads to create a simple, sparkly effect. I place a few beads across the star, again passing the thread twice through each bead. When I'm happy with the result, I make a knot at the back. To secure the knots, I add tiny dots of hot glue to each knot on the back of my work and let them dry completely. I use DMC 435 embroidery floss to match the ginger colored felt and close the ornament. To measure the correct length, I wrap the embroidery floss 3 times around the Christmas tree cookie. I begin blanket stitching at the bottom right corner of the tree, making sure the front and back felt pieces are perfectly aligned. I continue blanket stitching all around the shape. At the branch corners, I place my stitches just before and just after each corner, rather than directly in the center to keep the shape neat. When I reach the hanging loop, I place my stitches as close as possible to each end of the braid to secure it firmly in place. Once I reach the end, I return to my first stitch and tie 2 knots. To finish, I slide my needle between the two layers of felt and bring it out through the back. I pull the embroidery floss tight and trim the excess with scissors for a clean finish. And this completes the Christmas tree sugar cookie felt ornament. I hope that you liked this tutorial and that you feel inspired to make your own. If you've made it this far and enjoy unique felt ornaments for any occasion, please be sweet and leave me a little treat by clicking on my pumpkin bell to subscribe to the Awfully Sweet channel. Don't forget to hit the bell notification to know when a new video comes up. There is always enough room on my broom for another crafty ghoul. Thank you for keeping me company. Have a fabulous day. Bye.